Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cyblemania and Friends podcast. I'm Cyblemania, the king of podcasts, and my co-host, who has just walked up, or got up, walked away,
I
is
forgot.
uh,
Yeah,
a friend, the president of the Brandon Nemo fan club,
Nemo.
Frank Hudson, who is putting all of the blame uh, of the snow in his city
In
on
your city. In your city.
on me, on my team.
No, on your city. Putting it on your city.
Yeah,
Every
well,
time the Mets, every time the Mets come to Colorado, it snows.
well, I got no response for that. But hey, welcome to the Cytomania and Friends podcast. We have one person here watching us, my boy Wes. Shout out to
Wes,
you,
what's
my man.
up?
Hope you're doing well, brother. Um,
Our our one loyal viewer.
facts, man. Facts. Loyal viewers. Hey, come on now. We got loyal viewers.
we get about 12 an episode, and lucky enough if it gets to like 20.
One of
We're trying to work our way up.
one of our episodes of the Cybermania and Friends podcast that we did with Ron Parson and Jay Hinchy, WrestleMania
Yeah,
38, night one.
that one blew up. But I was talking about you and me.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
it's your fault. No, just kidding.
Now, when y'all, you should,
Got over 100 views, so shout out
yeah,
to everybody who watched
you
that.
should, yeah, you should do more live, current, like right after the show type of reviews, because that's what's gonna get you viewers.
Yeah, I might.
I
Um,
can't tell you that I'll be there for those, but I'm just saying, do the current pay views right after they happen. You're gonna get more viewers, probably more subscribers,
well,
and hopefully it'll help our show.
on this episode of the Cybermania and Friends, on this episode of the Flashback Friday
That
series,
is the name of your channel, Abamanian Friends.
it's taken
What am I
place.
not a friend?
No, you're a piece of shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a good friend. No, that's what we do. We joke around like that with each other. It's nothing.
telling the one guy who always watches that, like explaining that to the one guy who.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, because out of context, me calling you that, people would be like, "Oh, well, if I was his co-host, I wouldn't be his co-host."
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully for the future viewers, once we get a good decent following.
But anyway, on this episode of the Flashback Friday series, actually taking place on a Friday,
Yep.
uh, we are going to discuss the Sasha Banks and Naomi.
Oh, you
We're going to
and
discuss what he just spoiled for everybody.
yeah,
A lot.
yeah,
SummerSlam 2003.
yep.
And we're going to discuss a lot more than that. So, if you're ready, Frank, I'm ready. Hey,
I'm not ready yet,
pop a Pepsi
but I'm not ready yet.
for a good time. What are you not ready for?
I'm not ready to do this show. You asked me if I'm not ready. I said I'm not ready.
Well, you better get ready because we're doing the show. We are the
Now, but
live.
I love that. I love that though when people say, "Are you ready?" I hope you're ready, and like we're already here, so of course we're ready.
First one to comment, and he says first. So look at that.
First, well, you're
First.
most likely only.
You know what you're thinking. Wow, Wes, that's not Wes, that's a different person. No, that's Wes. He changed up his YouTube name. He does videos of his dog on YouTube.
I didn't even notice. I saw the picture of the dog though. I noticed that.
He got a
I
new
didn't notice the name change.
puppy dog named Tobias.
Okay.
And here's a little funny story for you before we get started. I had a great grandpa named Tobias. And I guess when I was little, I would always ask him, I would always ask him, "What's your name?" And he would go, "Tobias Quinto." And I would ask him again and again and again. And I'd be like, "What's your name?" "Tobias Quinto." "What's your name?" "Tobias Quinto." "What's your name?" "Tobias
Yeah,
Quinto." "Tobias Quinto." "What's your name?" So just little, every time I hear that name Tobias, that's what I think of. Um, But yeah, like I said, we're going to discuss SummerSlam 2003 and the Sasha Banks and Naomi walkout. And Frank, I don't know if you know much about what happened with Sasha and Naomi, but
I don't. I don't.
well,
I will say, Sasha Banks definitely a big loss. She's a star for WWE right now. So
so here's the situation as I understand it. Oh, we got two viewers here. Yo, wait. Hey, if you're viewing the video, say what's up. Um,
what's up? I am technically viewing the video as it is being recorded.
Hey, it's Franklin. Anyway, wait. What's he say? Hang on, what's that? Pop a Pepsi Hydrate, yes, sir, my brother. So as I understand it, here's what happened. Sasha Banks and Naomi were scheduled to compete on Raw in a six-pack challenge
Against Brock Lesnar. They're supposed to put over Brock Lesnar on free TV, and they were like, "We ain't doing that for free. We'll do it on a pay-per-view, but we ain't gonna do it for free." Or am I messing that up with a different walkout?
You're messing this up with the. You're talking about something completely different. I'm sure we'll mention that talking about this, but they came to the show and they were scheduled to compete in a six-pack challenge. And the other women in the match were going to be Doudrop, Becky Lynch, Asuka, and Nikki ASH. And I don't know if you know the Nikki ASH character. ASH
Nikki Cross. Yeah.
were almost a superhero.
Okay. Oh yeah. I've seen her dress up as a superhero before.
Okay, yeah. Well,
what is it? ASH?
yeah, almost.
Was that? Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that was going to be a six-pack challenge, and the winner was going to face Bianca Belair at Hell in a Cell for the Raw Women's Championship.
Right. I did watch a video on YouTube about it, so I know that they're pissed off because the tag team titles are not the focus. They don't want to be in women's titles match. They want to be in tag titles.
Right. And I understand that. I understand that. Here's what I don't understand, Frank, is they are the Raw Women's Tag Team, or the Raw Women's. They are the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions.
Right.
Why would you have them going after the singles championships as well when they were not booked? I know you hate me saying this, but they were not booked strongly enough to compete for the women's titles.
Mm-hmm.
They were not in programs. They had nothing to do. They had no interactions with the
Raw
or the SmackDown Women's Champ. So
so there was no build up to it.
I'm sorry?
There was no build up to it.
Facts. There was no build up to those matches.
Right.
And maybe them winning, maybe Bianca maybe Naomi winning on Raw would have been the start of the build up. But even still, you didn't build her you haven't built her like strongly to compete for the title. You haven't. So it doesn't make sense that you would do that. At the same time, I don't condone what Naomi and Sasha did. I don't. I think what they did was matter of fact, hang on a second. I'm going to read you something I told somebody. I said this in a chat yesterday. I'm going to read this to you what I said because this one actually got.
By the way, so John Laurinaitis is now the women's tag team champions, right?
You know what?
they went and people power.
Hey Rich, I got an idea. You don't have any women's tag team champions? Make me and Bruce the tag team champions.
Hey, Harvey Whippleman was women's champ
Harvey
once.
Whippleman be damned.
Downtown Bruno, as he is, well, as
Trying to
he
find
was. So your beef with it is that it's unprofessional, right? What they did.
yeah, but hang on just a sec. I'm trying to
I'm
find.
not hanging on here, bro. You got to be prepared with this stuff, bro. You
Well,
know you're gonna put.
okay. Here was here's what I said. I said this. I think both parties handled the situation wrong. I think everyone involved looks bad. Let's break shit down. Are you ready for this, Frank?
No.
Okay, well, you're gonna be ready anyway. Naomi and Sasha, they didn't agree with the booking WWE laid out for them, and if you think about it, I could see why they would think like that. Naomi versus Bianca, why? There's no reason whatsoever to do that match right now. Both women are champions, and Naomi was nowhere near in contention for a Raw Women's title match. She wasn't being built to win it. The feud is still Becky versus Bianca with Asuka thrown in the mix. So why would Naomi get the next title match? It doesn't make much sense. Just make it a 6-woman tag with Bex, Doudrop, and Nikki against Naomi, Sasha, and Asuka, and let it be that. No need to make it a number one contenders match, a number one contender thing. And then Sasha was going to lose to Ronda Rousey at Hell in a Cell. How does that make the women's tag team titles look? By the way, Naomi wasn't going to win either, so that makes the belts look even worse. That was a point that I brought up was if they're not even going to win, then why would you make the match? Why would you do this?
Because you need a challenger for the pay per view. I guess I don't know.
But how does that make your women's tag team titles look?
Right.
Yeah,
You could have them work double duty on the pay per view. They've done that before. At the top of my head, I can think of
they
Benoit work.
they have done it. Yeah,
Yeah,
Bailey and Sasha did it. Yeah, they could have.
Benoit worked double duty at Bad Blood. He opened the show, tag titles with Edge
Yeah,
against La Resistance, and then face
Rock
Kane.
did, I think, right? As Vengeance 2001? No, they didn't.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
Jericho.
Jericho did.
Yeah.
He
I
beat
can
Rock and Austin.
say WWE looks bad because they put that thing out online, that statement or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
And
There was no
honestly,
need to it.
this all should have been handled privately. I feel WWE put that statement out because they needed to do damage control immediately, but also they were very quick to make it. And I'm pretty sure emotions were a factor in the way it was worded. I think they should have let the ladies walk away that night, get on a phone call the next day, and see if things can't be resolved privately. Corey's statement on Raw about them unprofessionally walking out should have been the only public statement made on the situation. And then I said, these wrestlers need to realize when signing with WWE, and this is something we'll get into here, when these wrestlers need to realize that when signing with WWE, you're not just wrestlers, you're not just performers, you're representatives of a multi-billion-dollar company. If you don't like the way something is going in the company, you still have to do it. You're not the one calling the shots. Vince is. At the same time, Vince needs to realize that the stars that work for him are still people and they have brains and emotions. And if they don't like something, they will speak up about it. Vince is a hard-headed bastard, and you have to be to be a multi-billionaire or a multi-millionaire. So that's not a diss or a criticism. Sometimes he gets too stuck in his ways, and sometimes he forgets that his employees aren't just robots. And
Right.
that got a lot of praise from people.
Now,
Mm.
what now? This isn't the first time WWE has done something that like you said they publicly put out the statement. That's not too different from when Austin walked out and they covered it all over Confidential.
All
They
right,
buried him all on Confidential, which I miss that show, by the way.
that was a great.
Saturday nights, yeah, Saturday. My childhood on Saturday nights, man.
The
Velocity followed by Confidential. I miss those days, man.
I used to watch Confidential at my uncle's house on Saturday nights. That's how I fall asleep was watching Confidential. Not because it was boring. No, 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 no,
I
no,
know
no,
what you mean. I know what you mean.
no.
That was on at 11 o'clock at
Yeah,
night.
it was just
It was a
late,
late.
like late show, like how people fall asleep to the talk shows.
Yeah,
Although lately people fall asleep because all they do is talk politics. But uh,
yeah.
I mean, and I don't want politics on my talk shows. If I'm watching a talk show, give me a celebrity interviews. Do something with animals.
The only time I tune into those late night shows is if they got a celebrity on there who is notable to me, who I'm a fan of. I want
Right,
to see what they have to say.
right. But yeah, yeah. You mentioned the Stone Cold thing. Let's. Stone Cold didn't like creative, and he did do something about it. He walked out, and that my thing is, if you're an employee at any job, I don't care where you work, quite frankly. If you
Mhm.
are working at Jiffy Lube, if you're working at Safeway, if you're working at King Supers, you can't just you can't just decide, hey, I don't like this, I quit, and then just walk off of the job. I mean, I mean,
Right.
I mean, you can, but it makes you look like an unprofessional prick. You know, um,
Yeah.
hey, take it from me, I did it. Okay, um, I did it numerous times. I would just walk off of. I worked at a place called Sprouts, and every now and again, I would just walk out the front and just walk up to King Supers. Or I mean, not walk up to King Supers, but walk across and just walk up to Super Target and go sit in the little sofa area at Target and just play on my phone for like an hour. So,
Right.
I mean,
Not on your break.
right, not on my break. No, and then
Right.
on my break, I would go to the break room. I would play on my phone for another hour, and I'd go to the bathroom, and I'd probably fall asleep in the bathroom. Um,
Yeah.
you know, but I never decided I was done. I never decided I wanted to quit until the very end, but we won't get into that right here. Um, but yeah, you can't just do that. It makes you look bad. It doesn't make the company look bad. It makes you look bad because
Right.
you walked out. You
Yeah.
decided that you were done and you decided that you quit. And that just it doesn't make you look good at all. If you don't like something, but Vince is like, too bad, pal, do it anyway. You know, you're making millions of dollars a year. I'm sure you can fucking swallow your shit and do it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't see why.
And it's not like he was
I
asking
don't,
him to do anything like take your tops off, show your titties.
right. I don't see some of these wrestlers nowadays get like mad over like ridiculous stuff. Like they the problem like the problem is nobody wants to be a character nowadays, and that's why people wrestlers be leaving over WWE reportedly giving them gimmicks that they don't want to do, and it's like it's just a television show. What's the big deal? That's the way I look at it. But no, they want to do their 450s and the 630s and the 780s and their 5-star Dave Meltzer
Yeah, the
technical,
20s.
the 1935s and the you know
Yeah, the
uh,
1320s. Yeah. Uh, it's just,
if 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 we were like something to wrestle with type of a podcast, that like that level, that would be my shirt. It would be a guy doing a flip. It'd be in midair doing a flip, and it would say 1930, 450 into 1930 into 20. We will not be having any shirts coming out anytime soon. We only get one viewer, guys. So don't
Um,
expect it. Don't expect any shirts. But that is the shirt I would have if we were to do that.
well, I'll tell you what. You like this shirt or this hoodie rather?
What's that say? That stuff? Oh,
That's
that's tough. That's tough. Ha.
this. This is the this is the hoodie that I got off of No Life Shaq. This is one of his famous quotes where he
Okay.
says, "That's tough."
And you chose that hoodie today because you knew we were going to talk about Sasha and
I just
Naomi walking it.
because it's warm and it's freaking
It's
cold.
about to snow. Yeah, it's about to snow.
Yeah, because of your fucking team. Thanks a lot.
No, every time we come, that's not our fault. Every time we come to Colorado, y'all snowing. Like, come on now.
That's why you come
Y'all
to Colorado.
schedule makers. That's why. Scheduling us in April.
Well,
It was last we had a series against Colorado in 2014 or 2013, and it was early in the season. It was like late April, and I know you don't know, but baseball begins either late March, early April.
yeah,
So this is early in the season, and it snowed. The first game got snowed out, and they had everybody on the damn team pretty much shoveling snow. We had a guy, Sandy Alderson, who's our current president of baseball operations. At the time, he was the general manager. He was out there shoveling snow. He was crazy because it got snowed out in freaking Denver. Every time we come to Denver, it snows, man. Damn.
well, simple solutions. Stop coming to Denver. Um,
Simple solution. Y'all need a damn dome over Coors Field, man.
I won't disagree there. Anyway, let's get into why we are really here today. We are here to talk about SummerSlam 2003, which this man has on DVD apparently. This guy has.
As, have
Swear to
you?
God, I swear to God, Frank, you have every single WWE pay per view on
Not
DVD.
not every single one, but a good amount. I got like the mid 90s, early 2000s type VHS and DVDs. That's why I always show when we cover the show. If I got DVD, I show it.
Do you have a pay per view of WrestleMania 27?
No, I do not. But that is actually the first WrestleMania I ever ordered. But that's 2011, right?
Yeah,
27. Yeah, that's the first WrestleMania I ever ordered.
bro. If we ever cover that one, we're gonna blister the fuck out of it.
You will. You will.
Don't
You
tell,
will.
don't tell
Speak
me.
for yourself.
Don't tell me.
I enjoyed that show. I enjoyed that show.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this episode. No. Let's get into SummerSlam 2003. Uh, let
That's what we're here for.
this took place at the Phoenix
Phoenix.
at the America West Arena in Phoenix, Arizona, on August 24th, 2003. In attendance, 16,113 people, and it was a buy rate of 415,000. So strong show here, strong showing. Um, and the opener was I just watched the show.
La Resistance Dudley Boys.
Yeah, La Resistance defeated the Dudleys, and this was a good match. I thought it was a good opener. It was a solid opener.
Good way to start the show. I know we talked about La Resistance on the June 23rd Raw when we did that one. But I'm just gonna say it again. Underrated tag team. I was a fan of them, man.
Yeah,
Good heel tag team. And I've said before about Rene Dupree. It's a shame I feel like he could have been one of the better heels of the early of the 2000s had he not had, I guess, the attitude problems is what
which
is
as
the-
you know, he was a young guy at the time, and
Yeah.
he's kind of old
He was
now.
19 at the time of the show.
Yeah, he was 19, and at 19 years old, you're gonna have attitude problems because you're still a teen. 19
Yeah.
is still a teen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying, I feel like he could have been one of the better heels of that time period. Him and Chris Nowinski both, man.
And
It's a damn thing.
WWE just signed another teen straight out of high school. They signed an 18-year-old straight out of high school. So I mean, I saw a video package for her on Tuesday during NXT, and she was like, "Yeah, I do this and I do this, and I'm 18, I do this, I do this, and I just got signed to WWE, and I'm so excited to be able to do this. There's just one thing I got to do first. I got to graduate high school." It was just like throw that
Damn.
in there.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's crazy. So this was about a week or so after Rob Conway got into the mix of the
Yeah,
La
Rob
Resistance,
Conway.
and they became a trio.
Yeah, and then Rob Costa
Um,
leads the tag team titles. Yeah.
yes, he was the cameraman in disguise. The week he made his debut, he was a fan in disguise and attacked the Dudley Boys once he got in the ring.
He's the
Uh,
master of guys.
the French sympathizer, as they called him.
He was the master of guys. Shout out
Yeah.
to Harvey if you get that reference.
Yeah,
you remember that
right,
movie?
right. I didn't see it, but I know what you're talking.
I don't remember it either.
Oh, right, yeah. I never saw that movie, but yeah,
Turtle. Yeah.
yeah.
I never saw it. I can't tell you if it was, based on the fact that nobody ever talks about it, I'm guessing it was a pretty shitty movie.
I have no idea.
Because
I know
people still talk about Dodgeball. People still talk about Anchorman, and those movies were fantastic.
Yeah.
Frank wouldn't know that because Frank hasn't seen those movies because Frank doesn't have a life, apparently.
I'm more of a TV show, bro. I told you, I'm more of a TV show than a movie guy. But remember, we was talking about Catwoman yesterday. You were surprised when I told you that movie gets a lot of hate. Just look at my post. I wanted to watch it today.
Why?
Yeah. Why? Because I love the movie. I don't give a damn what any of y'all say.
Facts.
But I didn't actually watch the movie today. I was going to, but I got caught up in other stuff. I'm gonna rewatch. I told you I'm gonna rewatch that movie because I haven't seen it in a minute. I love that movie. I don't care what anybody says.
It was a good movie.
Was,
I always preferred like Jennifer Garner's Elektra over Catwoman, but both were good. And he gets up and he leaves again, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave you. I'm leaving.
Peace out. Hang on. Peace out. No. Anyway, next match was
Undertaker A-Train, right?
Undertaker A-Train. Good big man Haas match. Story of the match was Undertaker was selling his ribs. And A-Train was going after the ribs. It ends with Undertaker hitting a choke slam, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Undertaker hits a choke slam on A-Train. 1, 2, 3, and then post-match, Sable tries to attack Undertaker. Undertaker catches her, says, "Nah, bitch, we ain't doing that." And Stephanie McMahon comes out, and she comes back from injury. I heard on commentary that she came back from injury because A-Train injured her.
Remember, we covered that show. It was Vengeance 03. We just covered it.
A-Train attacked her, and so Stephanie returned and attacked Sable. So that was a nice little story there. Your thoughts?
This was it was. I agree with you. It was a nice little big man match, decent match. This was a part of the McMahon how do I say it? The McMahon power struggle with Stephanie and Vince. Stephanie was always siding with the Undertaker. Vince hated Mr. McMahon hated the Undertaker, and so that was part of that. And as I've said, that's one of the reasons why I love 2003 SmackDown. Not because of the SmackDown 4 or whatever y'all want to call them. And I like those guys, but it was more than just that. You had great drama with that McMahon power struggle. Stephanie versus Mr.
It was a
McMahon.
little bit more watchable than Raw.
I like Raw. Both of them, both shows that year had great storylines
Yeah.
and star power. Man, Triple H running shit on Raw, Evolution in the early stages. Goldberg, Nash, and of course you got the undercard guys like RVD and Booker T. Raw was so underrated back then, and the only reason why people hate Raw in 2003 is because they want the young guys to win the titles all the time. And big bad Triple H is keeping the title every month. Blah 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 blah. You know why Triple H was the damn champion every month? Because he was the star. That is why. RVD, Booker T, no disrespect to them, but in that moment, they could not hold Triple H's job.
Hey,
Triple H was the guy at the time.
I just wanted to make it very clear. Whose opinion is this?
Hey, it's Franklin.
Send your hate tweets to on Twitter.
Well, that's not my Twitter handle.
What's your Twitter handle?
I have a WWE account that you could send it to at WWE 90-96, something like that.
Send your hate tweets to that. Do that.
Go ahead.
Booker and RVD. RVD didn't win a world championship, but Booker T, he should have gotten it.
And y'all know me on Facebook. I tag everybody on my Facebook. Y'all can send my hate tweets on my Facebook, bro. Go ahead, bring it.
Go ahead, man. Because hey, drop your addy. He'll show up. He'll fight you.
But let me say it about Booker T.
You want to smoke? He'll come at your door. He'll come bring you the smoke. He'll bring you the smoke. He'll bring you the lungs. He'll bring you everything, bro. You don't want it with Frank. Frank's from New York, man. Those guys don't give a fuck. Anyway, the next.
Hold on. Booker T in 2003 was a great wrestler, not a world champion. King Booker, when he became King Booker, he got a great character, entertaining character that was world champion worthy. RVD is a great wrestler. There's a difference here. Y'all on the internet want to see those great wrestlers. Yeah, that's all y'all want to see, right? You don't the Triple H, you don't want to see them. Well, guess what? There's a bigger audience outside of that. Outside of just you guys on the internet complaining all the time. Guys like Triple H, guys like Goldberg, guys like Kevin S. We're just talking 2003 Raw. That's why I'm naming these guys. I know that's not today, but I'm talking about those guys bring eyeballs to the product. Booker T, RVD, and they bring Triple H, Goldberg, Nash. They bring the bigger eyeballs, more eyeballs. Those casual fans. Those are what those guys bring the casual fans. That's why they were always in the world title picture. Guys like Booker T and RVD are the internet. They love them. And I like them too. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't like them. I don't want you to get that thought, because that's not true.
For you, he does not like them.
But see, the thing about the diehard internet fans who always complain, y'all gonna be there tonight, next week, the week after that, the week after that. No matter how many times you say I'm not watching next week, y'all gonna be watching next week, and that's why it's the people, the casuals who don't watch every week that they're going after, and that's why guys like Triple H, guys like Goldberg, guys like Kevin Nash, all the guys you hate. They're the stars. They bring in the casuals, the ones they need to bring in. That's why they're in the world title picture, and Booker T and RVD are not. Or at least Booker T and RVD get their, they did get title shots that year, or Booker did 03, Triple H, RVD got 02, but they did not win them because they don't bring in the casuals.
So once
That's
again,
what people don't understand.
you want to smoke, drop your addy, and he'll come meet you. Next match was actually a pretty fun match. It was Shane McMahon defeating Eric Bischoff. And this is a pretty fun match, like I said.
Oh my gosh.
Where
Oh my gosh. It was interference left and right. Coach coming in. Oh no, these two aren't wrestlers. Well, Eric Bischoff's not a wrestler. Shane McMahon, we love him because he jumps off of tall things. But no, he's facing Eric Bischoff. This ain't a wrestling match. This was boring. No, this was. You're right. This was really entertaining.
it was fairly entertaining. And right now, Frank, you know what you're reminding me of?
Hey, there's more coming. Just wait till we get to the chamber. Just wait till we get to the chamber. There's gonna be more.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can find a quick clip here. Where is it?
Okay, while you're looking for that, I'm gonna talk about this match. So, yeah, this was fun, man. Shane and Eric Bischoff. At one point, Jonathan Coachman has his heel turn. He comes out of nowhere, hits Shane. What is that?
What did you just say? Did I stutter? I said, we want the song. We want the song.
That's what Frank is saying right now.
He's running the show.
We want the song. We want the song. Stutter. I said.
Go ahead, Frank. Say something stupid every time you say something stupid. I'll just blast that. Go ahead. Give me
Something stupid.
It's not stupid. That was a bad way of saying it. Hey,
Something
give your opinion.
stupid.
Every time you give your opinion, that's what I'll just blast. It's some
So-
stupid Franklin theme. Say something controversial, you get the smoke. Anyway,
So as I was getting to before you rudely interrupted me with the Street Profits there. No, Jonathan Coachman comes out of nowhere, hits Shane McMahon in the back with a chair, immediately getting Eric Bischoff disqualified. Well, so we thought. Eric Bischoff and Coachman run over to the bell, the bell table, takes the bell. Bischoff gets on the mic, says, "No, we're changing the rules. There's no disqualification." And shortly after that, Shane McMahon finds a way to win because he gets a little help from Stone Cold. Well, before that, though, Jonathan Coachman actually gets on the mic and says, "Hey, JR and King, cut their mic off. Cut their mic off." So the rest of the match, essentially, we do not hear from JR and King, and Coach essentially does commentary.
But when they cut off Michael Cole, or when they cut off Jerry the King Lawler and JR's mic, this asshole, while we were watching, decided to cut off his mic.
Coach said, "Cut the mics off," so I cut my mic off. I was wondering why you were sitting there still talking. Like, this dude didn't cut his mic off. Did he not listen to Coach?
No, I don't listen to Coach. I don't listen to.
So this was the beginning of not only Coach as a heel, but the feud, the announcer feud, which again did not have your 450s and your 1320s, and with JR and King versus Al Snow and Coachman, which was pretty decent. It was a nice little quick 1 month feud for Unforgiven. But yeah, so Coach and Bischoff essentially are double teaming Shane McMahon until the glass breaks. Austin comes out. Coach gets in Austin's face and says, you can't do anything to me unless I physically provoke you." So Shane McMahon comes from behind because he's down, of course.
Yeah, that was
he's down. Yeah, he's coming from behind. He pushes Coach right into Austin. Austin gets the stunner. Shane McMahon starts beating up on Bischoff. Then he picks up Bischoff, And it's funny, he takes Bischoff's hand and like taps Austin with it. So now Austin gets on Bischoff, and then they get Bischoff to the outside on the table, and Shane does the coast to coast elbow,
And
which I'm sure.
2-3.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that was a fun little match. Like you
Yep.
said, it wasn't a bunch of dips and flips and dives in the 450.
Except for the elbow off the table.
Okay, one big dive, and that
Yep.
ended the match.
Yeah, it was an entertaining angle. That's what it was. It was not meant to be a 5-star technical classic.
To be, you know, fucking Lucha, the Lucha Express, whatever the fuck those little Lucha guys on AEW.
Luchasaurus?
No, the
Isn't
Pentagon.
Luchasaurus and Lucha Express? Isn't that why it's called Luchasaurus? See, I don't watch AEW, but I've heard of Luchasaurus.
I don't know why he's called Luchasaurus. All I know is he's a grown adult dressing up as a dinosaur.
And that you just answered, or you just said why after you said I don't know why. He's dressed like a dinosaur. That's why he's called Luchasaurus.
Okay.
And he's a lucha wrestler. Or he's a Hispanic wrestler they call lucha.
He's a bigger guy. I don't think he's anyway. Next match. I was talking about Pentagon and Ray Phoenix, whatever their tag team is.
Oh, so Luchasaurus isn't in the Lucha Express?
No.
Oh man, I thought he was. That shows you how much AEW I watch.
What the heck is that tag team name? He's with Jungle Boy, Jungle Express or something like that.
Okay. Midnight Express, Jungle Express, yeah, Holy Express.
Let me do some, Pineapple Express, yeah. Can't do it either.
What was the next match? The 4-way was next, right?
Go ahead, give your thoughts while I do this research.
Yeah, so I'm sure this was a decent. I wouldn't say decent. This was a pretty good 4-way, even though it was short. You had Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit. They both faced off at the tournament finals for the U.S. title the month before at Vengeance, with Eddie winning. So Eddie's the champ here, taking on Benoit, taking on Rhino, who turned on Benoit at Vengeance, and then Tajiri, who Eddie Guerrero turned on a few weeks before this show. Yes,
that tag team is known as Jurassic Express.
Oh, okay, Jurassic Express.
Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. That's Jurassic Express.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
wasn't that a movie? Nah, that's Jurassic Park. I'm playing.
Hold up. Don't say another word. You already know what I got to do. You already know. It is. You're laughing. You already know what it is.
Coming over to play. Hey, it's Franklin.
You knew you had that coming. You knew you had that coming. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
So
if I'm coming off as really mean, I apologize. I'm just
you good. Good.
Sometimes, I blur. Sometimes I can cross that line of, hey, ease up a little bit. So
I mean, the thing's getting old, but I'm not mad at it. You want to do it, you can do it. It's funny.
Old. Fam. Well, that's why I didn't smoke, because that's a new thing.
Yeah, no. So that could be the new one, and it makes sense because I say the stuff that the internet wrestling community does hates, and I want all that smoke. Yes, they don't. I say the stuff they don't want to hear. I say the stuff they don't want to hear.
All this. Hang on a second.
We want the smoke. We want the smoke. We want the smoke. We want the smoke.
Hey.
We want the smoke.
Hey.
We want the smoke.
Sorry.
Hey, so, man, shout out the prophets. I know one of them's a Bears fan, so shout them out. I forgot which one's which. Which one is a Bears fan? But
My uncle loves them. He likes them a
the
lot.
prophet, yeah, they're entertaining.
Yeah,
They are,
they are entertaining.
and their theme song lit.
Facts.
Yeah,
Anyway, this fatal 4-way match was really good. Speaking of lit, this matchup was lit.
yeah.
It was really great. Eddie was really popular in this match, even though he was a heel.
This was the Eddie Guerrero that made him the legend that he is. Not just
a crisp and hard hitting match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't. Hang on. Before let me say, it wasn't strong style, stiff.
Well, that's Japan.
Really just pounding each other, but their shit looked good. Their shit looked good, and their shit sounded.
Yeah, you expect that from Eddie and Benoit, and Rhino and Tajiri are similar. So I'm not surprised.
You said
Rhino and Tajiri, they were in the match. Eddie and Benoit.
Who?
You know who I'm talking about, not Steven Richards. That joke is stupid, by the way. In what way does Chris Benoit look like Steven Richards?
Eddie, Tajiri, and Rhino. Gotcha.
And Benoit.
And who?
Mike Jones.
Who?
281-330-8004.
Yeah, that guy.
You know me, Houston rap. I'm up on, man. I've been up on Houston rap since 2005.
Probably didn't get monetized for saying Chris Benoit, but that's okay.
So we got anything else to say about the 4-way? I mean, it was a good match. There's not much else to add.
It was just a good match. It was great.
It was a good match. It's what the internet would love. I'm sure they would talk about this match for about 40 minutes, but I ain't got much else to say about it. It was solid.
The next match, I think I started dozing off at this match. I think
RVD and Kane? Oh no. This is Benoit. I mean Brock and Angle.
Yeah. Did I? You're gonna.
Yeah, you were starting to fall asleep. Yeah, not because of the match.
No. I was just.
This is a great match. Yeah.
So, a little peek behind the curtain. Before we do these shows, ladies and gentlemen, before we review these shows, Frank and I actually get together and we actually watch these shows.
Not necessarily get together. We do it through phone, like we do the review.
Yeah, we'll probably never go to each other's houses. He will probably never ever come here to Colorado. Because
if I go to Colorado, it'll snow.
Yeah. So stay your ass in Brooklyn, bro, or whatever the.
I'm in Queens. No Brooklyn.
You're a queen. Okay. You're a
queen. No. I'm in Queens.
You're a queen. I know. I got you. You're a queen guy. I got you. Hey, there's names for people like that. We call them RuPaul. Anyway.
Hey, some people like that show. I'm not saying I do, but there ain't nothing wrong with that if you watch that dude show.
Ladies and gentlemen, be known right here, right now, Frank Hudson watches religiously.
No, I do not. The only time I watched RuPaul was when he was on Sabrina. That's the only time I seen that dude, when he was on Sabrina. Which I would say he was pretty good on that show.
So you're a fan of RuPaul?
No. I'm not saying it's wrong to be a fan of him, but I'm not.
No.
I don't want to say so.
Hey, like what you like. In all seriousness, yes, I'm clowning on Frank. I know. We're friends. Yeah, we clown on one another.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with it. We just messing around. I know.
Facts.
It's all good.
Yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, RuPaul was on Sabrina.
Okay.
And he was pretty good. Good.
This match was really good. And the story was really good. It was a story of betrayal. Brock.
Right, yeah.
I'm sorry?
No, I'm saying you're right, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the night after Vengeance 2003, which is in our archives on this channel. Go check that out.
Episode 3.
Episode 3. There you go. Brock Lesnar. Kurt Angle defeated Brock Lesnar and Big Show to win the WWE Championship that he lost at WrestleMania 19. Also in the archives, I believe
Episode 1.
So number 1. That's right. Wow. Okay.
We're
Anyway,
up to episode 8, bro. 2 more episodes will be up to episode 10.
there you go. Hey, man. That's fantastic. Anyway, so yeah, so the SmackDown after Vengeance 2003, Brock Lesnar, was that when Brock turned on Kurt?
I gotta look into, see, I should know this shit because 03 SmackDown. I watch this shit religiously still to this day, but I'm not sure if that was after I don't think that was after Vengeance. I think that might have been maybe 2 weeks after or something. But I remember this.
Go ahead.
I remember this night when he turned on Kurt because I was so excited that whole night, that whole day into the night. Because again, I became a wrestling fan Thanksgiving 2002. So up to this point, I had never seen a cage match. Brock Lesnar versus Mr. McMahon was the first cage match I ever saw. And I was so hyped throughout that night. And I love the way the match happened. So Brock Lesnar gets laid out before the match. And I think that leads to wait. Well, yeah, Brock is laid out. How does Kurt Angle get involved again? I know Kurt Angle was the ref,
was the
right?
special referee.
Or was it so Kurt was a special referee. I know that, but Brock getting laid out, I think somehow led to Kurt becoming the special ref. But anyway, in the match, Brock Lesnar is knocked out. Kurt Angle is fighting Mr. McMahon. He's got him in the ankle lock.
And Brock Lesnar hops up. There's that little springboard hop up thing that he does, where he jumps up and he attacks Kurt Angle, busts him open in the cage, and beats him down. And that's how they end the friendship. And that's how they build this match. And this match was really, 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 really good. Fantastic.
Yes. Probably I would rank this match third, last, but damn sure not least when talking about the 3 matches they had that year. WrestleMania is first for me. The Iron Man match is just below Mania because the Iron Man match was damn good, man.
Yeah.
It's like 1A and 1B, and then Kurt Angle, and then this match will be 2. 1A, 1B, 2. So this match was phenomenal on Vince's birthday, by the way, too.
On your birthday?
Mr. McMahon did get involved in this match, so that's why I'm going to say this. He came out, and this was on his birthday. Mr. McMahon tried to interfere on Brock's behalf, but it didn't work out. At one point, Kurt Angle's got Brock in the ankle lock, and Vince is on the outside going, reverse it, and Brock ends up tapping out. And that's where that was so perfect that he tapped out too, because he was that mega heel at this point, the real Brock Lesnar, which was really good. But now here, the fans get to mess with the real Brock Lesnar. Every show after this, shortly after this, was the you tapped out chants, and that enraged the real Brock Lesnar. I love that they did that, and I think that was the reasoning behind
him leaving.
No, not him leaving. No, I'm talking about storyline wise. Well, he actually already did attack Zach Gowen because they showed that on the pay-per-view. So, but I think when he threw Zach down the stairs when Zach was in the wheel, the you tapped out chance was what led to him doing that, because he was so enraged. And I love the way they did that. You know, you got a monster like Brock Lesnar. The fans are screwing with him because he tapped out. Of course, that's going to make him even more angry, this monster, and he's going to take it out on people. I love the way they did that.
This was a really, really, really solid match. I loved it. And then the next match, I can't really speak on it. I fell asleep watching it. This is when I fell asleep, was Kane and RVD. So I'm going to let you take Kane and RVD because I fell asleep. So
So
I
Kane and RVD.
You even like, hey, are you still with me here?
Yeah, because I said something and you didn't respond. I'm looking at you because I see you sleeping. I'm like, hey, wake up.
That's
So
tough.
this was, speaking of monster heels, this was right during that time where Kane became that monster that was setting people on fire, scaring this 10-year-old to death. But nowadays, I'm of course not scared. I know Kane's a freaking mayor nowadays. If you would have told me at 10 years old, right after he set Jay on fire, hey, this guy's gonna be in office in Knoxville, Tennessee one day, maybe I wouldn't have been so scared that night. I legitimately could not sleep that night. When he set JR on fire,
Oh
I
my god.
legitimately could not sleep that night.
Yeah.
I was 10 years old watching another man get set on fire. That was scary.
That
I
kind of
did
stuff
not watch.
did, yeah.
Yeah, I did not watch Raw for a good couple of months after that because I was so scared. Um, but yeah, now looking back at it, I loved this King, man. The monster heel setting people on fire, coming out in shackles, uh,
Yeah.
tombstoning Linda McMahon on the steel
Yeah.
stage, choke slamming Eric Bischoff off the stage.
Yeah.
So this was the end of the RVD Kane tag team that was uh, the big babyface tag team on Raw in the early portions of '03. They broke them up after Kane unmasked because Kane was all angry that they were laughing at him because he unmasked, and RVD was trying to talk him, like you don't need the mask. They're not laughing at you. And there's this really cool segment where Kane's sitting there with the towel on. You see his back, and Van Dam's trying to tell him all that. And then at the end, Van Dam says, I just hope you don't hate me, Kane. Van Dam walks away. All you see is Kane's back. He's just sitting there like this with towel over his head. And just as the segment's ending, I do hate you, Rob. And that was essentially the beginning of
Uh,
the feud. That was, although technically the night he unmasked, which I was there, we covered that show. That's episode 2. That
yeah.
technically is where the feud began because he choke slammed RVD. But to me, the beginning of the feud was when RVD says, I hope you don't hate me. And then Kane says, I do hate you, Rob. And so that was the beginning of the build up to this match, which it's a bit surprising that this only got one pay-per-view. But I mean, I guess in the brand extension days,
Yeah.
but no, actually no, because Raw was the next pay-per-view. Unforgiven, Raw had the next pay-per-view, but
Which
Kane was also
will be, spoiler
next
alert,
week.
that'll be the next show we cover
Yes,
next week.
next week. But the problem is Kane had two feuds at this time. The Shane feud, because again, he tombstone Linda. He did that in July. That was
Right.
remember Vengeance. We covered it. The second segment on that show was Stephanie and Vince backstage talking about the whole situation. And Vince said at the end, I'm going to Raw next week and I'm going to confront Kane. So that had already happened. The Shane feud was already going on. So that's probably why the Van Dam feud got cut off so quickly. But this was no disqualification. It was a bit of a short match, which is a disappointment because this was one of the bigger feuds for Raw on this pay-per-view, and they didn't give it a lot of time. But I will say for the time that Van Dam and King were given, it was a solid match. There was not a match on the look. This is 2003, my first year as a fan, and I mean when you become a fan, you most likely love some of the stuff from back then because that's your childhood. That there's a reason that you became a fan, and most likely in your first full year, all that stuff that you love is happening on the shows back then, and that's why. Look, I don't care what anybody said. Some people are like, man, you love everything they did back then. Look, I like what I like, man. I don't care what anybody says. And there is not a match on this show that I didn't enjoy. We said that about Vengeance too.
And like,
03.
and like Brian Zane from Wrestling with Regret says, like what you like, and don't be a dick.
Well, shout out to him because
Absolutely.
he's 100%, 100%, man.
Shout out to Brian Zane, absolutely. And Shaq, because I was like Shaq with the
No doubt.
that's
Shout out to Brandon Nimmo.
No, fuck them. Anyway,
Hey. Now the fourth outfielder who only walks,
their
but
fault.
yet he's taking.
Hang on, I want everybody to see this right here, right now. I want everybody to see this. Mets.
Is it snowing? It's snowing now.
It's not snowing, but Mets. See this cold weather? That's on you.
Hold on. Let me give my shout out to Brandon Nimmo, the fourth outfielder who only walks. All he does is walk, according to some Met fans. Meanwhile, the guy's hitting 300 right now, and everything hit to his way in center field, he snags down like a fourth outfielder shouldn't. Maybe the guy's not a fourth outfielder. Hey, come on now. Maybe the guy's not a fourth outfielder. Maybe he does more than walk. And ladies and gentlemen, that is why I am the president of the Brandon Nimmo fan club and the Jeff McNeil fan club. But yes, today Brandon Nimmo because I got this shirt. And let me just say, hold up, shout out to my boy Jeff McNeil. Wrong number, but shout out to Jeff McNeil. Now number one in our hearts. Number one in the game. Hold on. What was that? We want the what?
Smoke.
Yeah. So let's see. About 7 games up on Philly.
Hold on.
7.5 up on Atlanta.
Go ahead.
7 up on the Marlins. About 10 plus up on Washington. Best record in the National League. You're damn right. We want the smoke. Just stop signing those 37-year-old pitchers, and we should be fine, baby. Best record in the National League. Up on everybody, running away with the division. You damn right. We want the smoke. Now, let's get to the chamber match though, because I've been wanting to talk about this.
SummerSlam 2003. It was Triple H defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Bill Goldberg, Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton, and Kevin Nash.
Randy Orton
would retain the championship here.
So Randy Orton's first main event and Kevin Nash's last. WWE was. Because Nash, of course, would go to Impact and do some pay-per-views for them. And he did main event a few of them.
Yeah, but wasn't Nash's main events in 2011?
Oh, you're right. I forgot. Yeah, the Triple H feud and the Punk feud. Did he main event a pay-per-view with Punk? I know he did with Triple H.
He might have. I don't recall, but
yeah. No, you're right. I forgot about that. But this was Kevin Nash's last match for a long time in WWE until he came back in 2011. His last pay-per-view main event in a long time. But yeah, this was Orton's first, not only his first main event, his first pay-per-view overall, right? I think so. He would make appearances because he's, interfering in Triple H's title matches and shit. But I don't think this was his first match in pay-per-view match, and he's main event. That showed you they had high hopes for the kid, and they were right. He's still going to this day.
Go ahead and give your opinion on this match. I'm gonna go take a leak real quick.
Oh boy, so Goldberg runs through everybody, but yet he loses the match. Oh man, he should have won. Blah blah blah. He's buried now because he lost the match after he barreled through everybody. Yeah, so nobody's supposed to care because he lost the match after barreling through everybody until getting to Triple H. Meanwhile, the very next night on Raw, who's the first person that came out? First music that hit was Goldberg's. Goldberg came out. So now nobody cares about him anymore, right? We're not supposed to care about him anymore because he just lost when he was supposed to win. He's supposed to beat everybody up and win. So since he didn't do that, now we're not supposed to care about him, right? So he's the first person to come out. And what's the crowd do? Crowd chants, Goldberg, Goldberg. There were Goldberg got screwed signs all over. Yeah, they really stopped caring about him, huh? Yeah, I have no problem with the way this match went down. This was a solid match. Goldberg again, he did barrel through everybody. I think didn't he pin like everybody until he got Triple H? He might have. I'm not 100% sure. But he definitely came in, was spearing the hell out of everybody. And then I love the finish. Even in an elimination chamber match, Triple H still found a way to look like a heel. There is no disqualification, no doubt, but a chamber, a cage match, Hell in a Cell, that type of stuff is supposed to keep out outside interference. Didn't do that here because Ric Flair picked up the hammer, slid it through, got it to Triple H. Goldberg's going for a spear, bang, hammer right to the skull, and then pedigree 1, 2, 3. Triple H wins. I love that. Triple H still finds a way to be the heel, to get his heel heat in winning the match. They attacked Goldberg at the end, beat him to a bloody pulp, and I loved it. You did not have to have Goldberg just destroy everybody and win. And personally, to me, that's boring. If you just do that shit, that's boring in my opinion. Put some odds against him, and that's what they did. The odds were against him after that. He got his rematch, and not only that, it's his last chance. It's technically like his only chance because this is one-on-one match, but he gets it, and his career is on the line. The odds are stacked against him, and now because of what Triple H did at SummerSlam, everybody wants to see him win even more, except for the people on the internet, because Goldberg didn't barrel through everybody, so now they don't care about him. But meanwhile,
he was known for barreling through everybody.
What? Yeah, well, he was known for that. That was in WCW. This is a different ball game. This is WWE, and things are different here.
Boy, you sound like Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah, and Bruce Pritchard works there. Bruce Pritchard works there. So yeah, that's the thing. He's right. It's a different ball game. WWE, WCW, two different things. Even though they do promote the same thing, sports entertainment, pro wrestling was the same thing. WWE does things differently, and that's why the internet hates them. But
so
yeah.
Okay,
so
what's that Twitter handle?
At WWE 90-96. Hit me up there, or again on my Facebook.
We want the smoke. We want the smoke. We want the smoke.
But hold on. So here, Goldberg gets his last chance, career on the line. Everybody wants to see him win now because everybody's so pissed off that he lost to Triple H in the fashion that Triple H won. Everybody hates Triple H, so they want to see Goldberg win. And that's what happened. With his career on the line, he fought through all the odds. Jackhammer, 1, 2, 3. We're going to cover that next week, so I'm not going to talk about my thoughts on that match too much. We're going to cover the show. Reviews are not about telling people what happened. It's about giving your thoughts. So I'm telling you what happened on the show, but you already know what happened. So of course we can tell you what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Goldberg, everybody says Goldberg's WWE run, they didn't treat him right in his original WWE run. Bro, everybody talks about how Triple H always won back then, the reign of terror. Name somebody who from 2002 through 2003 pinned Triple H on pay-per-view for the world title more than once. You know who? You know who? And back-to-back pay-per-views, Goldberg did. Back-to-back Raw pay-per-views. Let me say that. Because there was Unforgiven, then No Mercy SmackDown pay-per-view. So back-to-back pay-per-views that included Raw. Unforgiven 03. Goldberg beats Triple H for the title. 2 months later, the next pay-per-view that included Raw, Survivor Series. Main event, Triple H challenging for the world title, getting his second chance to get the belt back. Goldberg beats him again. But you know, they didn't treat Goldberg right in his first run.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was SummerSlam 2000.
You're not going to give your opinion on the Chamber?
It was good. It was solid. I can't remember much about it. I was still kind of drowsy, but it was good. It was. I liked the ending. You know, Triple H hitting Goldberg with a sledgehammer was a nice way to cowardly win. You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You cowardly win. Look like the heel, as you should. When
It
you're the heel, you should be a coward. You should be winning and cheating, which technically not cheating again. But like I'm saying, the chamber is used. Chamber cages, Hell in a Cell. That's to keep out the people who aren't involved in the match.
right.
But yet
Get involved. So,
yeah, Triple H and Flair found a way to get Ric Flair involved, slide that hammer in, and that's a heel way to win in
yeah.
a match that is no disqualification. So it's tough to find a heel way to win. They
True.
still did it, and that's what I loved about WWE back then, man. One of the things I loved that everybody hated, the heels were the heels. I loved JBL during his title run because he always won in heel fashion, bro. Even the barbed wire steel cage match, he won that in heel fashion again. No disqualification. How you gonna look like a heel when you really can't cheat?
Cage?
Barbed wire steel cage, No Way Out 2005.
Okay.
So how you gonna look like a heel when it's a barbed wire steel cage match? There's really no way to cheat. Well, here's what they did. The cabinet came out. They got barbed wire. They got the cutters to cut the barbed wire. They were doing all that to make it easier for JBL to escape, which ultimately didn't necessarily happen. Big Show
through the ring.
Right. But I'm saying you're talking about going over the top without having to deal with the barbed wire. That's what they were trying to do. Cut the barbed wire. That was cool. That's heelish. And then they choke slam him through the ring. Big Show goes out the door. You think Big Show the world champion? Nope. JBL, the slime little punk that he is, climbs from under the ring. Now he's out of the ring. He retains. That I love that, man.
That was a clever way to do that, though.
Yeah, it was, and it made JBL look like the heel that he is, and that's one of the reasons JBL was a great heel. And not only was he a great heel, he acted like a heel in his matches. It wasn't about the 5-star matches. It wasn't about, oh, even though I'm a heel, I'm gonna win clean because if I win dirty, it doesn't look good. Blah blah blah. No, you're a heel. You're supposed to win dirty. So. That's why I love Triple H back those days. Not Goldberg, JBL. And let me say that again. One more thing about the Reign of Terror and JBL for that matter, because what everybody loves, right? When you're the heel, you should lose your title to an up-and-comer. Make him great, right? Which to me, just putting a belt on somebody's not going to necessarily make them great. But that's what everybody says. The heel, when he's a champ, is got to make the next up and coming babyface young guy win. Well, everybody hates Triple H and JBL's run from that time period. Who ended the reign of terror from Triple H?
Batista?
Yes, Batista, that up and coming babyface, and Batista went on to be a star. Who ended JBL? Who ended JBL's longest SmackDown title reign?
Cena. Enough said there.
There you go. There you go.
Talk about Cena, yeah.
There you go. And WWE even tried to make the guy that everybody back then, I'm going to say, everybody loved back then, the internet loved back then, Chris Benoit. They tried to make Benoit get the rub from beating Triple H. Not only beating him, the biggest show of the damn year, right in the middle of the ring, Triple H, one of the biggest stars in comedy.
Tap out like a little bitch. Yeah.
They gave Benoit the chance. But guess what? It goes back to what I was talking about earlier with RVD, Booker T, again, with guys Triple H, Nash, Goldberg. Chris Benoit, they gave him a freaking Mania to SummerSlam run. Did it really affect? Look, I don't like the business side of things. That's why I don't really talk about it. But that's, most of the internet loves talking about that and they love when the young guys get their chances, or the technical guys who've been doing it for 18 years. They deserve their shot. Well, you know why it took Chris Benoit 18 years to win the title? What did his title run really do, ratings wise?
Hey! Oh, we got somebody in the building.
Who?
Arson says the Mets suck.
What was that? What was that? 7-1? 7. Oh yeah. All right, shout out Ron for that. But that first one.
Brother.
Yeah, what up, Ron? But hold up, that first one. What do you say? The first comment?
Mets suck.
Oh, now hold on.
I agree with Ron. Because of the Mets, it's now freezing in Denver, Colorado. Thanks a lot for coming, Mets.
Now, hold on. Ron. 7-1. Bottom of the ninth. Game over, right? 7-1. Game's gotta be over, right? Not when it's the fightins. Not when the fightins come to Philly and wreck that horrible bullpen with hit after hit after. We came to Philadelphia, not only whooped their trash of a bullpen, we stole their nickname. The ninth inning Kings right here, the fightins.
You guys stole the name. You guys couldn't be original.
No. That's what they're known as, the fighting Phils, because they come from behind, right? Well,
I'm gonna start talking shit about the Mets now just because. I'm gonna start talking shit about the Mets now just because it's your fault that it's snowing.
First of all, once that snow clears up, we're gonna wreck your team.
Bet.
But hold on, before we get to that, again, I was talking about, I'm not the biggest business guy because I'm a fan purely. I watch the show. I don't care what the ratings are or anything like that. But again, y'all want to know why it took Chris Benoit 18 years to win the title and why he never won it again? It's from, before everything that went down.
Yeah.
The reason why is, what did he really do to business wise? Did the ratings for Raw all of a sudden go through the roof because the 18-year odyssey finally ended? The guy the internet loves is finally the world champion? No. But look, y'all hate WWE because they don't give these guys a chance. They gave your boy a chance right there in 2004.
True.
But guys like Chris Benoit, y'all love them because they're in-ring talent. It takes more than the in-ring talent. A guy like Batista got the next chance, and he ran with it.
Ron Parsons says you're 100% right about Benoit. They tried.
Yeah, they did, but no, WWE doesn't do that for the guys the internet loves. That's why they cancel the WWE network, because the technical wrestlers never get the chance. Well, guess what? Y'all cancel the network, but y'all continue to watch week after week after week after week. The guys that Benoit, the audience that Chris Benoit brings in, watches week after week after week. And the audience that Batista brings in, the guy who ultimately ended the reign of terror and became a star because of it, brought in a different audience. And that's why he went on to become the star that he wasn't up until when he left.
Let me just speak on something real quick. Since we're speaking about Benoit, let me just put it out there. He should never.
No, ever. I know where you're going with this. Never.
Hall of Fame, ever.
No.
And this is why. And you know what? If you disagree with me, please bring the smoke. I want to smoke. I welcome the smoke. I crave the smoke. I want the smoke. Hang on.
He doesn't. Yeah.
Did I stutter? I said, we want the smoke.
Because I'm going to say something right here, right now. Benoit should not go into the Hall of Fame and does not deserve to go into the Hall of Fame. Was he a great wrestler? 100%. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Great.
And if the actions, okay, yeah, go ahead.
Hang on. I'll let you say something in a second. But
Yeah.
with everything that he has done in the ring, uh, everything he has done in the ring, what he did to his wife and son negates everything that he did.
You're 100% right.
Everything he ever did.
Yep.
Why? Because him as a person was a piece of shit. He killed his wife, he killed his son, and that should never, ever, ever be rewarded. And if anybody has a problem with what I'm saying, if anybody disagrees that, well, yeah, I don't agree with that because he was a world champion and blah 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 blah, and he was a great wrestler, and no, I don't care if he was a great wrestler. He was a horrible human being. He killed his wife and son. I don't care what excuses you come up with, the CTE, the concussions, the whatever. No, he still made a choice. He had a choice, and he made to kill his wife and kid. And you know what? That kind of choice is unforgivable. If anybody kills anybody, they should never be celebrated, in my opinion.
Yep.
Kill somebody,
You're right.
you're a piece of shit. And that's just simple. And Benoit, he killed his wife and he killed his son. And come up with all the excuses in the world. It does not negate anything. It does not diminish what he did. His actions spoke louder than his words. What he did is unforgivable and should never, ever be rewarded. I don't care what he has done. Never, ever should he ever go in the Hall of Fame, and never, ever should he ever be rewarded.
And I agree 100%. Now, if the actions that took place in June of 2007 never happened, Benoit more than likely would be in the Hall of Fame today.
Maybe.
But you can't. Maybe, yeah. Well, I'll say this: I wouldn't consider him an all-time great because, yeah, he was a great wrestler. The charisma, all that really wasn't necessarily there. That's what separates Eddie Guerrero from Chris Benoit. Eddie Guerrero, great wrestler. That's not what he was all about. There's a reason. Yeah, there's a reason he became a SmackDown legend. That Untold episode, how Eddie Guerrero became a SmackDown legend. He was a SmackDown legend because in late 02 when he got with Chavo and they became the Los Guerreros, Lie, Cheat, and Steal, you saw Eddie Guerrero's charisma come out. Eddie Guerrero was one of the more entertaining characters in that time period. And that's why he elevated himself from this great wrestler to main eventer, to like legit could hang with anybody on, because of that charisma. Chris Benoit didn't really have that charisma, but there are still guys. I think that WWE will still, if you're a great wrestler, I think they will still recognize that and put you in the Hall of Fame. So I believe if the events of June of 2007 never happened, I think Benoit would be in the Hall of Fame today.
Yeah.
But you can't put him in because of what he did. He does not deserve to be in.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that was SummerSlam 2003. Those were our opinions on Chris Benoit. And once again, if you guys disagree with what we say,
we want the smoke! We want the smoke! We want the smoke!
So, I mean, that's all you got to say.
Yep.
Am I right? I mean, this podcast, is Frank and I giving our honest to God opinion. And I have said this multiple times on multiple podcasts. If you disagree with us, that's great. Everybody has the right to their opinion. You know what I mean? I don't always agree with Frank Hudson. Frank thinks that Charmed is the greatest TV show drama of all time.
Greatest drama, yes. It is.
I don't.
It's on right. I got it on right now as we speak.
That's great.
Season one, the Prue days. We miss you, Prue. They should have never killed off Prue.
Okay, fuck you. You think that the Mets is the greatest baseball team? I don't.
Best record in the National League right now.
However, just because we have these disagreements,
Yeah.
we're gonna trash each other. We're gonna rib each other for them. We're gonna joke about them. But at the end of the day, they're just jokes, and we're friends, and that's what we do with your friends. You joke around with your friends, and I know to a lot of people that watch this show, I may come off as harsh to Frank,
No,
but Frank is
no.
not a guy that will just sit there and take it. If I take shit too far, Frank will be like, "Hey, back off, man." You know,
You haven't done nothing too far.
right?
It's just joking.
Yeah, it's all jokes. It's all love. Frank knows that, and I know that, and we know it's nothing personal, and we know that just because we disagree, we're still friends because it's okay to disagree. You know,
That's something.
as
That's
a thing,
something.
Jim Cornette has this really weird thing where if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
disagree with him on anything, wants nothing to do with you. That's not
I
Frank.
told you. I
Not me.
told you the Cornette story. I've said it on here before.
Yeah,
He blocked me over
yeah,
a tweet that didn't even involve him. I was
yeah.
just putting
Story.
over Vince Russo.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
but
I didn't even tag him. I'm not trying to freaking like start anything. But of
yeah,
course, like I said, one of his goons who followed me because I tweeted about Russo a few weeks earlier, and I mean not Russo, Cornette tweeted about Cornette a few weeks before, and Cornette retweeted and got me a lot of followers on the account that I've now mentioned a couple of times
mention it one more time.
on the WWE at WWE 90-96. It's the reason why I created that account is because 90 through 96, we're talking about the in between years, 80s boom, attitude era.
Yeah,
90s through 96 doesn't really get much love, and I enjoyed that time period, so I wanted to put an account out there that showed love to it. And again, I thank guys like Cornette and JR because I got big retweets from them that led to a shit ton of followers. And the biggest reason why I got a decent amount of followers on that account to this day is because of them. But again, one day I'm like, I find a picture of Vince Russo on an episode of Livewire. So that's the time period. That's like 96 episode of Livewire, Russo. So I'm like, oh, see, I can use this to talk about Russo. So I posted a picture. I'm like, in my opinion, this guy's the greatest writer the business has ever seen. So of course, one of Cornette's goons sees this and he retweets it and tags Cornette. And I'm like, man, what is this dude doing? Just trying to start shit. It's ridiculous. And of course, a few minutes later, I keep checking Cornette's Twitter after that to be like, he ain't really gonna block me after seeing that, right?
it,
I did not even freaking. So check it about maybe a few minutes later, he blocked me. I did not even like mention him in the tweet.
that's the
Like,
thing. That's the thing is it's cool to have a difference of opinion. That's what makes
yeah,
America so great.
yeah.
You don't have to hate somebody. You don't have to wash your hands of somebody just because you disagree with them. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. It's okay to disagree. I've made that point multiple times. I've been on that soapbox multiple times. But
Hey,
it's
let me say too, because I keep bashing the internet's. I make fun of the 450s and
yeah,
oh, this guy lost, so he's better. I make fun of that, and I did that all over this episode. I want to say, look, you can have that opinion. I'm not doing that to say you shouldn't have that opinion. I'm just voicing what I like, and that's why I kind of make fun of it because I'm totally against those opinions. But I'm not saying you can't have that opinion. I'm
yeah.
just putting that out there. I'm not trying to like say y'all wrong for that opinion. I'm just saying that's not my opinion, and that's why I make fun of
It's just because we're against it and we don't care for it. If you like it, you care for it. Hey, do you have fun? You know what I
Hey,
mean?
like you're talking to a guy who loves WCW 2000, the New Generation era, Raw 2003, all the shit that people hate, the Catwoman movie, all the shit that people hate. I enjoy this shit, man. So like I don't care if you didn't like WCW in 2000. I don't care if you didn't like New Gen era. I don't care if you didn't like the Halle Berry Catwoman movie. I
Well,
love that shit.
hold up.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people that don't like.
Okay.
Yeah, so I love that shit, and I don't give a damn if y'all don't. Like that's my opinion.
That is his opinion. That was my opinion. In my opinion, actually, this is more of a fact. Next week, Frank and I are going to We're going to review Unforgiven 2003, which is the pay-per-view that took place right after SummerSlam 2003. Yep. So go in chronological order a little bit here.
Yeah, we're not going to always go chronological. The reason why, the reason why we went in order this week is because you had already selected Unforgiven 03 for this week. And then it was like, you pick, what are we doing next week? I'm like, you know what? I really want to file SummerSlam. I really want to talk about SummerSlam 03.
We're going to
see what.
We were going to do Unforgiven this week and then SummerSlam next week, but we're like, let's just reverse it.
That's what I said. Let's do it in order, and that make no sense to do the other show first. But yeah, I really wanted to talk about that because I really wanted to get my opinions on that Elimination Chamber out there.
Yeah,
because that match gets a lot of flack.
Something I forgot to say at the start of the video, I'll say it right here, right now. If you are new to this YouTube channel, do you see that subscribe button? Does it say subscribe? Is it colored red? Well, that's a problem. But it doesn't have to be. All you have to do is click that. And then it'll go gray, and it will say subscribe. And guess what that means, folks? You've subscribed to the Salomanian Friends channel, which means, guess what, folks? You become a friend. Also, hit the notification bell so you get notified when your friends upload new videos, which we upload every single week. Hey, how about that? And, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there is some bad news. If you don't hit the subscribe button, the bad news is, Frank, I'll tell you.
If you don't hit that.
No,
if you don't hit.
No.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Say your part, and I'll say my part.
Well, I got a whole different thing this week. The bad news is if you don't hit the subscribe button, the Mets will come to your city and make it snow in your city. That's the bad news.
Well, if you don't hit that subscribe button, my boy Brandon Nimmo gonna come to your town, and you're gonna watch your home team have a 7-1 lead evaporate on a Brandon Nimmo 2-run RBI game time base hit. Hey, what up, Ron? 7-1. 7-1.
Hey,
Brandon Nimmo.
Seriously, let's do our real outro. If you don't hit the subscribe button, Rikishi will come to your house and
it will stink face you.
Facts.
Well, some people might like that, That's a pretty
yeah. Until next time, I am the king of podcast, Salomania. That is the president of the Brandon Nimmo fan club. We are out of time, and we will see you guys next week. Yeah.